Did you say, Tanya? Not 8. Not 4.
Oh, 6.
6. Because we have, I know you're counting the totals. We should have 6. All right, so for those of you listening at home, we just picked up the chi-square test for homogeneity. And pretty much everything we've done so far is very similar to what we did yesterday with the goodness of fit. We did our hypotheses for the null and the alternative. We just finished with our conditions. We're ready to find our chi-squared test statistic. All right, but first we're going to write our statement. What statement should you write? So we're going to do what? Thank you, Roberto. I want the actual statement. I think I heard Luis say it. It's Mr. Chi, not Mr. Kai. Mr. Chi is the other teacher. Yes, chi-squared. Now, you'll notice the degrees of freedom is different from yesterday. How did we find the degrees of freedom with goodness of fit? Lucero, how did we find the degrees of freedom yesterday with the goodness of fit test? Was it sample size minus 1? You're right, that's how we did for t-test. Your brain's really close, Lucero. Number of what? Number of, not sample, but number of what? Yesterday we had like red, blue, green, brown. What were those called? Stop it. Let Lucero do this. What kind of variables are we talking about here? Very good. So it's the number of categories minus 1. That's the n minus 1 from yesterday. So that's why it was 6 minus 1 or 5. You'll notice up here it's a little different. Here we have rows minus 1, columns minus 1. So how many rows do we have in this column? Or excuse me, in this table. How many rows do we have in this table? We have 2 rows. And how many columns? Be careful time you see about the total column. 3. So we have 2 minus 1. All right, so 2 minus 1. And 3 minus 1, if you multiply that, you will get your degrees of freedom of 2. Yes, everybody good with that? That's how you find the degrees of freedom. All right, well, we're going to clarify here on the Inspire if it gives you degrees of freedom. I'm not sure if it does. It might. It should be great. I hope it does. All right, so let's do the mechanics. Trying to find chi-squared. So the first one, I believe, how many people with the placebo said their depression returned? Was it at 24? Minus the expected value of 20. And then that's going to be what? Well, it's going to be raised to what power? It's got to be squared, right? Because in case we have a negative, and then make sure you divide by our expected value. Move this down for you. So let me ask while you're writing it, is everybody clear and visualize what we just did there? Let's get that formula. You said, Vincent, it was what?
For the expected?
The observed minus expected squared over expected. Right? What did I say yesterday, Kevin? How did I say it? Yeah, it was something like that. Oh, hey. Something like that. Gotta watch the video, Luis, and you'll know. Watch the video. I'm gonna upload it after this class. I know, I'm excited that it actually worked. Okay, now we're ready to find the actual chi-squared values. Here they are. And when you're writing this down, students that are going to start to understand this process are going to immediately gravitate to which of these chi-squared values. Where are they immediately going to gravitate to? Which one? I think this one. Those two. Why those two, Roberto? So you noticed that when you looked above, right, you went to this other table here. When you went to this other table up here, you notice that this one, the actual observed value was less than expected, and this one was what? Actually higher. And because we squared them, we don't know which one was which, right? We don't actually care about that. It's just telling you, since these are the two biggest numbers, we should go back and look and see, wow, those on this drug said that their depression returned 14 compared to 20. We expected 20, only 14 said it. That's nice. What about for no sign of depression? We expected 10, and how many said they had no sign of depression? 16. So this is telling me what about that drug? Well, I'm not going to say it works, right? But I'm starting to think that maybe this is the way I need to steer patients. Okay. Cut the chi-squared by adding that all up. So here we go, adding them all up. And finding our p-value. Do you guys want to write the conclusion first, or do the inspire and then write the conclusion? Inspire first? Okay. Let's do the inspire then. Jacob? Your hand hurts? Your head. Okay, why don't you take the day off? Who are you going to sub in? You want everyone to do it in class? That's gonna make your head hurt more, I feel like. Myra's gonna do it? Yes. Oh, Kevin's gonna do it because Michael does drums. Michael's like, dude, I'm in California in my head. I don't know what's happening right now. Oh man, sad but true. Okay. So if you have your Inspire on your desk, now would be the time to get it ready, turn it on. You just need to go to a calculate page. Don't need anything crazy here. Okay, so I told you guys we're going to be using a matrix. So let's type in that matrix it gave us at the beginning of the entire problem. Do you guys remember how to create a matrix with the Inspire?
There's an option.
There is. Menu. There you go. Number 7, matrix and vector. Create a matrix. And then I'm going to put this, don't need to write it down. I'm going to put this in that document, okay? Like this is all going to go in that document. Don't worry. So how many rows? How many columns? 3. So make sure you change that. I love when it does that. So we have matrix, create, 2 by 3. Say it again. Create a matrix. I'm going to put this down in the document, Marcelo. You're good. Like it's all going to be there. You don't need, okay. All right. So you go to matrix and vector, which is number 7. I don't think, have we ever gone there in this class? I'm not sure we've ever gone there. All right, you probably went there in, if you use this in, do you guys use this in calc? No? Okay, sad. Not matrix? Okay. All right, click OK. What were our original numbers? I believe the first one was 24. Then what? 22. Then, what was it? 14. Come on, George, keep up. Oh, you're blaming the calculator now. Okay, and then for the next row? 6, 8, and what was the last one? 16. Thank you. Thanks, Tommy Two-Tone. That's a plural. This is one matrix. Okay, so when you get here and you type in your numbers, do you guys see how my cursor is in the matrix? Yeah, no? Okay. So you want to make sure you click the arrow to get out of it. Make sure you're out of the matrix. Then you're going to hit store. Do you see VAR? Above that it says blue STO. Yes. All right. So you want to hit Control VAR for variable control. So it has a little arrow, and then I'm going to just pick the letter A. I'm going to store it in letter A. Now you don't have to do that and hit enter. You don't have to do this, but do you guys remember when you were in my class for Algebra 2, and we had to do like matrix A plus matrix B, or A times A, all that stuff, right? Or like if you had, remember the scalar products, yeah, if you had put 2A in there, it just multiplies them all by 2 for you.
Wow, so we could have done
Oh, we could have done this, right? But see, that wouldn't have been as fun. Okay, good question. So now we're ready to do our chi-square test. Menu. Now we're going to go back to where you guys know. Statistics. Okay. Have you created your matrix? You deleted your matrix. That's a bold move, Nicole. Bold. Yeah, there's only one way to test yourself. Is delete it before we get there. It's all pause, Nicole. I did Control in A, and then hit Enter. Yeah, just put the letter A. Yep. Perfect. Now go to Menu, Stats, Stat Tests. Now, which one did we use yesterday?
7.
We used Goodness of Fit, GOF. All right? We're not using that one today. We're using the two-way test for a two-way table. So, number 8. And what is our observed matrix? What did I label it?
A.
I labeled it A. You labeled it whatever you wanted to. And hit OK. You should notice a couple of things that we already have. It does give you degrees of freedom. Thank you very much. So chi-squared, p-value, degrees of freedom. And then you remember from yesterday these little dot, dot, dot?
Yes.
All right, you know where I'm going with that? Oh, look, it has the expected value matrix. So I hit VAR, expected value matrix. Oops, try again. So I'll go again. Hit VAR for variable, right there. Expected value matrix, so stat dot expected matrix. Enter. And there are the expected values that we already calculated. All right, so Marcella, you can't do this. You can do this, but you need the technology to do it. Okay. Now we can also do the variable for the computationals, those all those chi-square components that you found. Remember those chi-square components? Yes.
I didn't notice, like, why are they all 20 in the first column, in the first row?
Good question. Because if you look at the row totals, the row totals were 60 and 30, were they not?
Yes.
So that is why you have that difference there. All right, but again, if you ever get confused, you can use the inspire, or you can use that there. Yes? Oh, good question. Where was the graph? I moved it. If you look really close, it's there. Right there. You just gotta look really close. All right. Okay, you know what? I made it, and clearly I didn't do a good job, Luis. All right? Good Lord. Thank you. You can put on my surveys. Your slides were poorly made. Just take the Hyro Douglas. Not many more days. Not many more days. All right. You'll notice, let me call on someone here. I'm about to look at the p-value. You should be looking at the p-value. Think about the p-value. P-value, p-value, p-value. Let's go with Michael. When you see that p-value, what do you think? It's less than what? 0.05. So what are you going to do, Michael? You're going to reject the null. Give me some context then.
There is enough evidence that they're not all the same.
Interesting. I think what Michael just did there, I don't know if you guys were looking at him, but he just went back to his what? What did you just flip back to?
No. The hypothesis.
The hypotheses. He just went back to the alternative hypothesis to say what there was enough evidence to write about. So make sure when you're writing this, a good rule of thumb is to go back to your hypotheses to help you figure out what you're going to actually say for your context. Because you know, this is my preference. You don't have to do it this way. My preference is to give you the linkage between the p-value and the alpha. So this, you'll notice the first sentence has 0 context for this problem. And then the AP exam wants to make sure you have context. That's why I write the second statement. Yes, George.
So how come, like, whenever we were doing t-test, we didn't write the statement in favor of the alternate? So like.
Oh, I mean, that's just a phrase I use.
But no, but like for the t-test, would that, like, did we have to include that too?
Yeah, with t-test, we did the same conclusion, right? You're going to fail to reject or reject the null. I just went further, hashtag extra in favor of the alternative.
Okay.
Right? That's just, I've been doing this a long time, so reading a lot of different stats books, you get a lot of phrases stuck in your brain. I have read stats books. You say it like a bad thing, Tanya, see?
I kind of have to read a stats textbook. Do you like willingly?
Do I willingly read books about statistics? Yes.
Thank you.
When I write a book, I'm not there yet. No, I'm going to just read the books.
I would use that money for the test.
Yeah.
Oh, no, see, I'm going to use your money for the test, though. All right, so thank you for that. And then when you don't bring the Expire back, that $100, I'll take that, too, for the test, though, as well. And what up? All right? I'm deflecting from Luis, okay? I'm upset. All right. Here's what I want you to do. Really, Kevin? No. Do I need to go back? Sitting there complaining about stats textbooks.
I was just.
Now, I want you guys to flip to the exit ticket paper. There should be front and back for exit ticket. I'm going to give you, you're welcome. I'm going to give you, let's see, what's it, 145, 204. Let's go 10 minutes. 10 minutes to do 1 and number 2. So you're doing the backside as well. Now, to make you feel a little bit better, 1 and 2 is the same problem. All right, I did rewrite the problem, but it's the same thing, just asking a different question. All right, so 10 minutes individually by yourself. Marcelo, good luck without the Inspire. All right, more work for you to do. And I want you to see if you can do the button pushing for the expected values and for the chi-squared test statistic. All right, 10 minutes, and we'll go over it at the end. Go.